Hi, it's Desiree with the Makery Cake Company, and you are scheduled to do a team builder making a package cake. But there's a little caveat, you have a little homework, and I know that it's really hard to do homework for a team builder, but this is what I have for you. So what we have to do today is we have to make the bow loops for the package cake to let them dry overnight so you can assemble it tomorrow during the team builder or happy hour or whatever you're using this time for. So first things first, you have to take your fondant, and you should have the color of fondant that you ordered for your bow. And the thing about fondant is a squirrely little animal. You have to actually kind of like work with it a little bit because all it does is chunk when you try to pull it apart. So if you just give it a little bit of a knead, just work with it. I'm not sure if it's like the movement or the warmth of your hands or what, but after you work with it for just a little bit, it is much more elastic, and it moves a little bit better. So before you roll it out, I always like to make it into a little bit of a pancake first. Put that down and roll. Now, you're going to want to make about 13 to 16 bow loops out of this, and you still have to have a little bit left over for the ribbons. So the trick is to roll it thin enough. Now you don't want it too thin or else it becomes hard to work with, but you want it about the thickness of a single corrugated cardboard, or like the thickness of a pizza box. So you roll it out, and then you take something to give it a little texture. Now you can use a fork and press the fork sideways on it if you don't have anything else. I have this fun little rolling pin. It has Chanel logos on it, but you can use the side of a cup that has an interesting texture on it. You can I saw someone use a piece of jewelry that had a really neat impression pattern on it. Or you can use like the cover of a light. Wash it first though, okay? So you get your fondant that has all of the neat little texture on it, and you flip it over. And you take your pizza cutter and you make ribbons about 1 inch wide. Doesn't really matter how wide you make them, as long as they all are about the same thickness, or if you make half of them thin and half of them thick, as long as it's consistent. Consistency is the key. So now I'm going to take these end pieces off, and this is a piece of parchment paper that I have rolled end to end longwise, so this is your parchment, and then you take your loops and you need to make some of them shorter. Let's see, some of them shorter and some of them longer. Probably should have started in the middle and worked my way out. Hindsight is 20/20. Now you don't want to make any of them longer than 3 inches because your cake is only 6 inches wide, and if you make them longer than 3 inches, it's going to span the length of the cake and then some. Alright, so obviously we're going to need to make more, but here's what you have in the meantime. Okay? So now I'm going to just gently push them. If you're having trouble getting them to stick together, you can always use just a little bit of water. Now, you take a paring knife and you cut at an angle. You're trying to make the ends kind of a V shape. Now I got some longer ones, I got some shorter ones, and this is good because when you assemble your bow, the loops that are on the bottom of the bow need to be a little bit longer. The loops that are on the top of the bow need to be a little bit shorter. So you are just making all of them to a little bit of a V shape, okay? And then you're going to leave them just like this to dry overnight. Alright, and you need 13 to 16 of them depending upon how wide your bows are. If they're about 1 inch wide, 13 will do it. If they're smaller and thinner, then you probably ought to make a few more. Alright? So, I know you can do this. I believe in you, and we'll see you tomorrow.